Our team will be presenting on the Starbucks X Chartwells location located in the Student Center South at University of Houston. First, we have Liliana Soto, our team lead and graphic designer, Emily Ma, our head of Chartwell side of research, myself, Michaela Tolliver, I am our key presenter, and Vanessa Villaseñor, the head of our Starbucks side of research. And here is a list of all the topics that we will be covering in this presentation, including historical information, company overview, methodology and visitation, research analysis, analytical models, and suggested actions. And now we'll get into the history of the Starbucks franchise. They opened their first store in Seattle, Washington in 1971. They launched their My Starbucks Rewards app in 2009, and they started expanding their commitment to hiring during the 2010s. During COVID, many businesses were affected, and Starbucks was no different. Currently, their newest CEO, Brian Nicole, is making efforts to return Starbucks to its original brand promises by incorporating policies such as mandatory writing on every cup. Other policy integrations include incorporating more comfortable seating, more power outlets, and free coffee refills. His overall goal is a high-quality beverage in 4 minutes or less with a moment of connections. Now we'll get into the company overview for our Starbucks location. This location is not a true Starbucks franchise because it is located in the Student Center on University of Houston campus. It is instead contracted through Chartwells, the same company that manages UH dining halls and other campus restaurants. The ultimate mission of the Starbucks Corporation is to be the premier purveyor of the finest coffee in the world and to inspire and nurture the human spirit. The Starbucks goal is to deliver performance through the lens of humanity, and they aim to do so through courage, craft, results, joy, and belonging. And here we have the company promises for both Starbucks and Chartwells Higher Ed. They read as follows. Our customer promise is to serve the world's finest coffee with a moment of connection. And for Chartwells, we are food-forward difference makers bound together by a desire to feed hungry minds and prepare students for success. And here we have fused together the two company promises to make one collaborative promise for this establishment. Our customer promise, serve the world's finest coffee with a moment of connection while delivering superior service efficiently for the benefit of our customers, shareholders, and associates. And then next we'll get into the methodology and visitation experience of our assigned location. During our 40 hours of research and observations, we evaluated drink quality, customer interactions, and order accuracy. After compiling over 100 reviews, we grouped the data into positive and negative categories based on the Google and Yelp reviews. We used the brand identity prism, semiotic square, and the ServQual model and the GAP model to establish their design application. And we also use extensive online research, public reviews, and the intel from a former Starbucks employee to form our report. Here we'll get into the analytical models we've developed. To begin, we have our brand identity prism. This is a tool that is used to help better understand a brand. On the external side, we have the physique. These will include the Starbucks logo, the iconic cups, and the green uniform apron. The personality, which is meant to reflect the founders, will include style, regal, and optimistic for Starbucks. The relationship, which is the relationship that Starbucks means to establish with its customers, is personal, connection, and special. The type of culture that Starbucks aims to create includes belonging, pride, and inclusivity. The reflection, which is the type of customer that Starbucks aims for, is influencer, youthful, which would be anybody roughly under 30, and somebody innovative. And the self-image that Starbucks wants its customers to perceive themselves as is trendy, exclusive, and a valued guest.
We broke down the types of customers a brand experiences. First, we have the adventurers. These are going to be the customers that explore different menu items and are conveniently located on campus. We have our risk-adverse customers. These will be the customers that typically get the same drink every time they go in. We categorize these two types as convenience customers. Since the Starbucks location is within the campus, the majority of our consumers are college students and typically want an adventurous or a simple quick drink. In contrast to them, we have the caffeine addicts. These will be the caffeine-obsessed customers who need to get their coffee fix every day. Next, we have the fad chasers. These are going to be the customers that will tend to get whatever drink is trendy at the time. These two customers have been categorized as loyalty customers. These two specific consumers select the Starbucks coffee brand in comparison to other coffee shop competitors that are also within the campus. We have the risk-averse and the fad chasers as our cost-conscious consumers. These will be the customers that don't necessarily care what they get as long as it's cheap. And because this location is located on the UH campus, cost-conscious consumers may also include students who opt for using Cougar Cash instead of traditional payments like debit card. Contrary, both the adventurers and the caffeine addicts would be considered splurge consumers as they are willing to spend more money due to their obsession with either the brand or the product. The following is the research we've conducted and what we were able to analyze. First, we have a graph that shows the average wait times at our location. With the Starbucks standard wait time being 3 to 4 minutes, we established that only 31% of our observed wait times met the policy requirements. We have noted that the average customer at this location waited 5 minutes and 59 seconds for their order, which is 1.5 times longer than brand expectations. Additionally, during our observations, there were 2 occasions where the consumer's orders took over 20 minutes.
Next, we have a chart that tells us how many overall reviews were negative, meaning 1 to 3 star, at 58.1%, and how many were positive, 4 to 5 star, at 41.9%. And here, we begin to further dissect the reviews. Here are the positive reviews that consist of customer service, where customers mentioned being greeted with smiles and that staff were nice and friendly. Order accuracy, where customers noted that baristas were amazingly helpful as well as fast. And customer flow management, where a customer stated that their coffee was made quickly and well. Here are the negative reviews that consist of customer service, where customers mentioned that staff were full of attitude and disrespectful, and that baristas were always rude. Order accuracy, where one customer noted that while they always order without ice, their drink was made with ice, and another stated that their drink tastes like cold milk and wasn't filled properly. And customer flow management, where customers stated that it took over 25 minutes to get their order. They never knew that 20 minutes is, quote, just, and that there were long lines and long waits. Gap 1 evaluates any spaces where a company may fall short when moving from guest expectations to the service delivery. During our research, we have noted insufficient lines as a design failure. Gap 2 assesses any mishaps that may occur between the delivery of service and guest perceptions. The 2 delivery failures that we were able to establish during our research were inaccurate orders and unsatisfactory customer service.
Here, we'll cover the suggestions address the problems discussed. To resolve inefficient lines, we suggest developing an express line for customers with short orders and implementing an order status screen. This is so that guests can check the digital screen to see how close their order is to completion, eliminating the need to ask baristas for a time frame. To improve order accuracy, our suggestions are implementing more staff training. Reviewing and retraining staff is essential for minimizing mistakes and improving overall performance. It allows employees to refresh their skills, stay updated on best practices, and address any gaps in knowledge. Our second suggestion is to enforce periodical rotations of employees. Rotations prevent employees from becoming complacent in their tasks. By changing roles or stations, they stay alert and engage, which minimizes errors. The third suggestion is to relay orders with more than one substitute. When a guest requests a drink with multiple customizations, baristas should confirm their order by repeating it back to the guest in order to ensure order accuracy. To improve unsatisfactory customer service, we suggest establishing supportive management. A caring manager can uplift employee morale, making them feel appreciated and motivated to deliver excellent customer service. Our second suggestion is implementing employee recognition initiative. Recognizing an employee for excellent service can motivate the team to enhance their attitude towards guest interaction. Thank you so much for listening to our final presentation.